Saturday in Blacksburg, Virginia. The 16th ranked team in the nation, the Louisville Cardinals, come to town to take on the Virginia Tech Hokies. Welcome back to the CW Free Kick Show, brought to you by Dick's. Every season starts at Dick's for the Boston College Hall of Famer and Super Bowl champ Will Blackman. Wes Bryant on the sideline will be around in a minute. I'm Tom Brenneman. Great to have you with us. Happy Halloween weekend. You know, look, we're down to the final 5 weeks now of the regular season. And for Louisville, I mean, how important is every game now?
Yeah, this is November where it matters that you take control of your own destiny. They're coming to a hostile environment in Lane Stadium. And I played here. I know what it's like dealing with this crowd. They're going to have to knock this crowd out early if they're going to have a chance to win this game.
You know, you look at running the football. Both these teams ran for over 300 yards their last game. Well, let's start with the Cardinals. They're getting after it with Isaac Brown.
Isaac Brown, he's been delivering this team, and it's not one day. It's not delivered 2 days. It's not even overnight. Same delivery. One day, it's the football. You blink, he's at your doorstep. You see all these words. The biggest thing is he's leading the entire country in yards to carry. He's been electric for this offense.
Now, you know, having said all that, this is a very balanced Louisville team. We'll get to that in a minute. But for Virginia Tech, these are the rushing numbers in their win against Cal.
Yeah, you see this Tech trio with Marcellus Hawkins, Kyron Drones. He looked like Michael Vick last week, throwing the football and running it. And let's not forget Terrion Bully Stewart. He's able to go off for many yards, and they were able to do this to win their football game. They need to do this today in order to keep this Louisville offense off of the field.
Well put, well put. All right, kickoff coming up. A big one in the Atlantic Coast Conference. Thanks for watching the CW Free Kick Show, brought to you by Dick's. Every season starts at Dick's. Welcome to CW Football Saturday, presented by Marco's Pizza. What a time to order your Marco's Pizza right now. Louisville Cardinals have lost just one time this year, but a great environment here at Lane Stadium and Virginia Tech. Let's check in with our man down on the sideline, the former Demon Deacon. There he is, a big fella, Wes Bryant.
Last week, guys, these two teams only completed 24 passes, but if you're looking for somebody to get it done through the air, look no further than Chris Bell, the All-American candidate from Louisville. He is third in the ACC in catches, and he's tied for the lead in touchdown receptions, and he leads the conference in yards per game. Big physical receiver. He told me he has eyes on winning the first ever Biletnikoff for the Louisville program.
Well, he's had the kind of year that is certainly worthy of that. By the way, it's worth noting, we saw Bell gingerly walking around on the field a little bit before the game today. Not quite sure what the story is there. And maybe it's absolutely nothing at all. But it's something we can notice from up here. Great crowd. Kids enjoying a Halloween weekend. Heck, a lot of the students enjoying the Halloween weekend.
I'll tell you what I noticed. During they were playing Enter Sandman, that Louisville came right out in the middle of their entrance. So I know Coach Braum is ready to go.
Louisville won the toss and deferred to the second half. So we'll see Kyron Drones and Virginia Tech right from the get-go. TJ Prelo awaits, and this kick blasted through the back of the end zone. So here we go. Drones, the transfer from Baylor, came to Tech in 2023 and just had an unbelievable year that year. He made 11 starts. He threw for over 2,000. He rushed for over 800. Then last year, a lot of injuries. And now this year, you know, look, the bottom line is he's accounted for more touchdowns than anybody in the conference.
Absolutely. Drones, he's the engine for this Tech offense. He's big, he's physical, he's not afraid to run through contact, and I will say this, he probably has the strongest arm we've seen so far calling games on this network.
Louisville defense among the nation's very best. This is a tall task for Tech, but a good start today on the pitch to Marcellus Hawkins, and that's a gain of 10 on the very first play. All right, our impact players brought to you by Old Spice.
And you saw right away, Marcellus Hawkins getting the first down. He's the speed, power back, and for the Louisville defense, Clef Logan, he's impossible to tackle. With D'Angelo Hutchinson, you're going to see him coming down at the safety, and not to mention TJ Quinn, man, he's going to be all over the place.
Yeah, Quinn, their leading tackler, redshirt senior. They will give it once more to Hawkins, and this time he has stood up, no gain. You look at Louisville on defense. They're ranked 14th nationally. They take the football away. They have 12 interceptions, 9 in their last 4 games. And in terms of yards per play, they're in the top 16 in the country.
Yeah, you hear the term stingy, like not giving up a bunch. Also, ball hawk, opportunistic. They do both extremely well.
Throws his first throw. And blanket coverage over there. Crowd wanted a flag, but Jabari Mack there, step for step. With Aiden Green, and that'll bring up our first third down to 3rd and 9.
Yeah, the crowd's turned. They want something, but that was just strap coverage. Didn't give him anything. That's the one thing. They're going to challenge these Louisville defensive backs. They're going to challenge these receivers on the outside. They feel like, look, we're fast enough. We're not afraid of the deep passes. We're going to sit on these routes and challenge these receivers.
Even a catch right there by the intended target, Aiden Green, and he does not get a first down. So after a first down, first play, run of 10, 3 and out thereafter for the Hokies. But we're going to get a look at this Louisville punt return, man. He is the best punt returner in America. He's among the most electrifying players in all of America. He has 2 punt returns for touchdowns this year. Colin Lacey. You wonder, will they even give him a chance to return the ball? And the answer is yes.
The answer is yes.
Man, that's dangerous stuff there. And here he goes. A little bit of wiggle room and spun down after a good return up to the 38-yard line.
Yeah, that's a win. My coach always told me if I can get 10 yards per return, I'm probably going to lead the country.
Well, Miller Moss, in his first season, he was the LA County High School Player of the Year coming out of high school. Decided to stay home, played 4 years at the University of Southern California. Became a full-time starter last year. Eventually lost his job, brought in the portal to Louisville, and has been rock solid. He's hit on 65% of his passes, 10 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. He's run for 6 touchdowns. Isaac Brown breaks it to the outside, and he can fly. That'll be a gain of 11. All right, our impact players brought to you by Old Spice.
Look, I love when that happens, right? The first play we saw Hawk for the Tech offense, and now we got Isaac Brown for Louisville getting a big run. He's an explosive player. Chris Bell, he's going to be explosive on the outside. And for Tech, you got Ben Bell and Kamari Copeland, 2 guys that are disruptive when it comes to going after the offense.
And Copeland coming off a 3-sack effort in that overtime win against California. Once more, it's Brown, and he breaks it. Nobody gonna catch him. Touchdown, Louisville. And that's what we have seen from the Cardinals pretty much all season long. That is their 6th run of 60 or more yards on the season.
Look, I didn't even get a chance to take a sip of my coffee yet. As I mentioned, same-day delivery service to the crib.
6 rushes for better than 50 yards, 6 for better than 60 yards. I mean, this is one explosive Cardinal offense. And the point after, right down the middle. Isaac Brown went for 205 his last start, and here we go today.
Absolutely outstanding to the crib. Let's go, Brown.
You're watching CW Football Saturday, presented by Marco's Pizza. Order your Marco's Pizza today. And by Jared Jewelers. Shop their new story, Diamond Desert Sands of Eternity. Some of the top rushing games this season in the Atlantic Coast Conference, highlighted by that man right there. Isaac Brown goes for 205 yards in the win at home last week against your alma mater.
Yeah, don't remind me. But we told you.
I didn't mean to do that.
Nah, I know you didn't, but we said if you blink, he is gone. And man, that was an incredible run by Isaac Brown. Untouched. This is what you do not want to happen for the Tech defense. You already know, like, this team is built off of explosive plays when talk about the Louisville offense. So now that you're back on offense as the Tech, try to go back to establishing the run game and try to get some positive plays.
Philip Montgomery's done a really nice job since taking over for Brent Pry. I mean, this place was a mess after the first 3 games of the year, and losing his footing is Terrion Stewart. I love your nickname for him, Bully Stewart.
Yeah, I found out they call him the Bully, back in the day, and the Bully just tripped over the ACC sign right there. He had a lane, but yeah, it's going to be important to get these backs going and try not to get a 3 and out.
We had a game here when he had 15 carries for 174 yards, including that 85-yard run. Safe pass there. About a yard short of the first down is Takai Heath, who's starting to come on more and more. He had his best game of his very young college career in the win over Cal. He had 2 touchdowns, 4 receptions for 64 yards.
Yeah, they think he's pretty dynamic and very shifty when trying to play press coverage against him. You're going to see him in a slide. You saw right there just running a quick hitch for a nice game.
Now, you talked about keeping the Louisville offense off the field. These are the kind of third downs you got to convert.
Yeah, 3rd and mandatory, no question. 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2.
They give it to Bully Stewart, and he bullies his way, spins his way up to the 36-yard line, and good enough for a Virginia Tech first down.
Yeah, you can see DJ Capers comes, he finds it right there and just doesn't wrap up. And that is a difficult running back to wrap up if you're going to make that attempt. It's like pick your poison. You want to wrap up, you're too high because he's short. You want to go after his legs are the size of my chest. Good luck with that.
All right, first down for the Hokies. Talented Benji Gosnell in motion. Stewart, and nowhere to go this time. And that's a guy you mentioned, one of the highest-rated recruits in the history of Louisville football, T.J. Capers, redshirt sophomore out of Miami. He had an interception in the win against Miami.
Yeah, he was excited to go play back at home. As you mentioned, former 5-star recruit. He reads the offensive line so well and is able to show up in the run game.
Give it to Stewart. That's a nice open field. Say open field. I mean, there was some room there, but JoJo Evans able to make the tackle where that could have been an 8, 10, 12-yard or more run.
Yeah, this is one of the things that Coach Montgomery told us about this Louisville defense is that when they tackle, that's it. There's no extra yardage afterwards. They do such a good job in eliminating the yards after catch or after contact.
So a third down, and let's call it 6. Good protection for Drones, and the receiver had a step down there, Aiden Green, but he overthrew him, and so Virginia Tech, for the second time in as many possessions, will punt.
Yeah, he does an awesome job just immediately getting vertical when he's wide open. Those are the plays you have to make. Aiden Green won immediately off the line and was there. You got to make that connection, especially against this Louisville defense.
And again, here's Colin Lacey standing back there. He had a 93-yard punt return for a touchdown against Eastern Kentucky. This one is blasted, and it goes into the end zone. He also had a 75-yarder against Bowling Green. How's your Halloween been this weekend? For those guys, it might roll into Thursday of next week. Start the season off right and get game day ready. Scan the QR code below to shop Team Swag Game Day Essentials from the CW Football Saturday Shop, brought to you by Dick's. Every season starts at Dick's. 7-0 ball game. Just under 10 minutes to go in the opening quarter. Isaac Brown in the backfield, first throw by Miller Moss, and they put it into the hands of Chris Bell. And that's exactly who Wes Bryant was talking about before we got started today. This young man is an extraordinary, talented player, Wes.
Yes, he certainly is, and he said he models his game after a lot of the big body receivers, the A.J. Browns, the D.K. Metcalfs, and I love how they talked about how well he blocks. They said sometimes they have to dial him back because he destroys guys.
Just like you used to for the Demon Deacons.
Yeah, man, I tried my best.
There's Brown, nearly squirted out of there. He's up to the 35-yard line, and that'll be a first down.
Yeah, he was definitely turning his legs, trying to get loose, trying to get out of that tackle, but they did an awesome job holding on for dear life. You see this counter play, you see the two linemen pulling the CG counter just getting right through there.
Moss went through a 3-game stretch against Pitt, UVA, their only loss in overtime, then the win at Miami, where he just put up fantastic numbers. That's just a 1-yard gain, defended well that time by the Hokies and the youngster Sheldon Robinson. But Moss, in those 3 games, threw for almost 1,000 yards, 7 touchdowns, only a couple of interceptions.
Yeah, the biggest thing with Miller Moss is just his efficiency. If you notice all game long, he's going to, as soon as that back foot hits, boom, that ball is there. It's accurate. It's extremely accurate, especially if he has time. He's going to be extremely dangerous. They're going to have to try to get in his face and get him rattled a little bit. But if he doesn't, he'll pick you apart.
Of course, the Braun brothers pretty much run this offense. There's 3 of them on this staff. But Jeff, of course, the head coach. His brother Brian, the offensive coordinator. Gain of a yard maybe for Brown to bring up 3rd and long. I tell you, they may not get a ton of pub, but Braun is a big-time head coach, man. Wherever he goes, he wins and wins big. There you see what he's done in Louisville, 23. They got the ACC championship game, lost to Florida State that year. In last year, 1-9, and the 6-1 start, ranked 16th in the country this year. And, of course, Louisville, his alma mater. Born and raised Louisville, Trinity High School.
Yeah, big third down here. Look for them to go across the middle, try to get dispersed. Yeah, there was some movement in the slot.
False start. Offense number 5. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
It's Colin Lacey.
Yeah, Lacey flinched just a little bit right there.
So let's see if they can get a little pressure on Moss this time. We told you Copeland had 3 sacks against Cal last week. We've seen Gilliam. We've seen Fall, Bell, all those guys generate pressure. They're showing blitz. 3rd down and 12, no pressure. And intercepted on the pass across the middle. Isaiah Cass brings it back into Louisville territory, and that's a big one. That was just great coverage.
Yeah, as I mentioned, outstanding coverage here. I mean, he just rolls with this, stays underneath. But Miller Moss, they were bringing a little bit of pressure. They were showing it, and they end up dropping coverage, making him think fast. Isaiah Cash going straight to the bank with that pick right there.
And look, when you talk to people, and it's no knock, it's the same really for a lot of quarterbacks, but especially with Moss, if you can really make him uncomfortable, there have been times where he can be occasionally, like a lot of guys, prone to make a mistake. He's been really good for this Louisville team, no 2 ways about it. Hawkins looking for a little bit of running room and is able to spin forward inside the 35. They'll spot it down at the 34-yard line, a gain of 3.
But this is great. 3 yards, 4 yards, 5 yards. Just keep nickel and diming with these running backs.
Hawkins, and still on his feet, gets inside the 30, down to the 28-yard line. He'll be a yard short. Well, let's see if they spot it at the 29. Yeah, they will. He's 2 yards short. Louisville committed a turnover in every single game this season.
Yeah, that is one thing that this Tech defense had to take advantage of. They will get the football up.
Get the feeling this is a big play on a 3rd and 2. Drones throws it in traffic, but it's caught for a first down to GWES Hairston, the backup tight end.
Yeah, this was almost knocked down. Just a good old sprint pass.
Well, that's a dangerous pass, man. He wasn't standing more than 3 yards away, and a Louisville defender nearly in between them.
Yeah, Louisville picked a couple of those off this year, that similar play.
So no runs yet for Drones after going for better than 130. And look at Hawkins. He took a big hit and is still able to stay on his feet. He lowered the boom on Corey Gordon.
I'll tell you what, this is a really good run by Hawkins, but this is an outstanding tackle by Corey Gordon. Open field tackle coming down from safety against a big back like that to save the touchdown. That's big-time football.
Gain of 7, 2nd down and 3. Drones will keep it himself. Looking for a little room. He finds it inside the 15 to move the chains again.
Yeah, 6'2", 235. Quarterback sneak, you're going to be pretty successful doing that. So this is great. You see this offensive line working on this drive. Working in sync. Dealing with a challenging defensive line.
Jeffrey Overton checks into the backfield, and it's going to be Drones to take it to the 10-yard line, a gain of 4. So Virginia Tech banging on the door after the takeaway. The interception by Isaiah Cash. 2nd down and 6.
Yeah, you're seeing a lot of shifts, a lot of motions and adjustments here. Really making this athletic Louisville defense think and not just sit there and, pin their ears back and attack.
Louisville allows just 105 rushing yards per game. And now Drones out of shotgun. Gonna throw it. And that did not fool the Louisville defense. Takai Heath on the reception, but well short of a first down.
Yeah, down here in the red zone, I was always told by a coach the field is wider than it is longer, meaning you have a shorter distance to go. And therefore, it's easy to attack the perimeter. Right there you see the Tech offense, very efficient, 86% in the red zone.
But you saw just 18 touchdowns. In this kind of game against an offensive team like Louisville, you figure you need touchdowns and not field goals. 3rd down and 4. Drones, how about that move? And he's going to be short of the first down, so it's decision time very early in this game now for Philip Montgomery.
Well, you just talked about it. Get touchdowns, right? You're still in a situation where you can convert it first.
They're trying to hurry him up to the line of scrimmage. And I don't know. There is a flag down on the play. Louisville was very confused defensively. And I think Gosnell is saying that the Cardinals, who look to be a little in disarray, perhaps lined up off sides. We'll see.
Either the offense wasn't set or it was encroachment because there's a lot of movement going on.
Offside. Defense.
Yep.
Defensive player lined up in the neutral zone at the snap. Going to enforce half the distance to the goal. Results in a first down.
That's Daryl DeBerry, our referee today. So 1st and goal for the Hokies.
And that's the challenges of when an offense is going fast, you forget where you are, especially if you're playing on the defensive line or if you're at corner playing pressure. You immediately want to get to your alignment, but you forget to actually look if you're offsides or not.
Well, I mean to tell you, Coach Brom is livid on that sideline. All right, Hawkins in the backfield off to the right hip of Drones. Drones will keep it himself, and he'll find the end zone. Touchdown, Hokies.
Such a great job taking advantage of the short field and making it count.
Love among the nation's very best. And he ties it at 7.
Just a wonderful QB lead for the tie, 7-7.
7-7 game from Lane Stadium in Blacksburg, Virginia. Interception by Isaiah Cash, and Drones able to get him to the end zone.
Yeah, he was. They got the short field, and he's been using that. I mean, look at that. Last 2 games, 110 yards.
Yeah, he went for, in the double overtime win over Cal, he went for 21 carries for 137 yards. He also threw 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, a lot of that came from Cal. They were just misreading in terms of read option.
Coming up next, NASCAR Xfinity Series Championship from Phoenix. 4 drivers, 1 title. Every lap, every move, every moment counts. Don't miss a NASCAR Xfinity Series Championship from Phoenix, AZ, out on the west side of Phoenix. Next on the CW.
Yeah, Coach Montgomery said they didn't go into the game like saying, hey, we're going to get KD to run the football a lot. It's just the fact that Cal kept taking the dive on the read option, which allowed KD to run for all those yards.
Now the big rushing play by Brown that accounted for most of those yards. First down pass is incomplete. First time we've called the name Kewan Brown. You know, he's done a nice job filling in for Duke Watson. Watson was their 2nd leading rusher a year ago. He got injured very early in the year. He's only played in 1 game since September, and they're hoping that Watson will come back today, and what a pickup that would be down the stretch.
Yeah, Kewan's a power back who's very efficient. A couple TDs this year.
Smothered is Kewan Brown. Stevens there, Bell there. They got a lot of young players getting some quality minutes right now for Tech.
Hey, dude, you see my man Ben Bell with the swim move, getting right back on track, making that tackle. I mean, he's a vicious edge setter, man. He plays with great leverage, great energy, and that's why every time we have this game, he's my impact player.
All right, 3rd down and 11. Remember the last time now Moss faced a 3rd and long. He threw the pick. Boy, great awareness and movement there, and then incomplete. That is just excellent downfield coverage by Isaiah Brown and Murray, their best corner, who's wearing, of course, in honor of Coach Beamer, number 25 here today. Normally wears number 9.
Yeah, he does an awesome job. Just got one-on-one scramble drill, right? You have some guys who are playing deep. They come up short. Guys who are short end up running deep routes. He stays on his guy. We call that plaster. Plaster to your man down the field. He does that to perfection.
Isaiah Spencer, they blocked it. And it's out of the back of the end zone. I mean, untouched right there. And that'll be 2 points, of course, for Virginia Tech.
You see right here, number 20, looks like Caleb Woodson coming off the edge, unaccounted for. Boom, takes it off the foot. You mentioned number 25 in honor of Beamer. This is Beamer ball right here. This is the honor in terms of what they've been doing historically, special teams.
Well, they have 2 number 20s now. We got to figure out which one it was that blocked it. Because they have TJ Prelo.
So that was Prelo that came off the edge. Their running back.
So Prelo able to get it. Boy, what a valuable member of this team he has been for 5 years now.
Yeah, did not even look at him. took it off the foot.
You know, he's been waiting around as a running back to get a chance to play. He got some playing time. A couple of nice games early in the year.
Yeah, early in the year. He was a great receiving back for this offense.
Yep.
But you love to see, you know, his reps went down and he ended up finding a way to make an impact on special teams.
This November, CW Courtside Saturday and CW Women's Hoops tip-off with some of college basketball's biggest names. Wall-to-wall action. It all begins next week. Western Carolina will be at number 6 Duke. That'll be at 1:30 Eastern, 10:30 a.m. Pacific, only on the CW. Now, Duke had all those great freshmen.
Yeah, he comes off the edge and not one person even looked at him.
Okay, so now Virginia Tech with the football in a 9-7 lead. Drones fakes the pitch and picks up a couple of yards up to the 27-yard line. Yeah, you get to these double numbers in the college game, man. And I tell you what, it's interesting. Special teams. It's one thing if they're on offense or defense. You know, Pramo plays offense. And we talked about Woodson on defense. When they get on special teams.
How do I feel about that? Wes, how would you feel if someone had your number?
Yeah, I wouldn't like it too much, man.
No.
72 is very sacred to me. It's tatted on me, so yeah, I wouldn't be feeling it.
Yeah, not a chance. There's a carry by Jeffrey Overton Jr. Most of the carries this year have gone to either Hawkins or Stewart. I almost wonder if there's something going on with Stewart. We have not seen him since he tripped over, you were joking about the ACC side, but we've not seen him in there since. That'll be the final play of the opening quarter. When we talked about Louisville ranked 16th in the country with an eye on going to Charlotte. Started out well. Things have gone south since.
Let's take a look at today's Royal Caribbean game summary. Wasted no time. The Cardinals. Isaac Brown out the gate untouched. To the crib, and then taking advantage of the short field, the Tech offense, touchdown, and then come through with some beamer ball that I know of, special teams, with the block punt.
All right, so they trade into the field, and from the 31, it's a third down juggling act over there, and beautifully defended by the Cardinals. So after getting the 2 points off the block punt, and getting the football back, Louisville stands up strong and will get the football back. And always keep an eye on Colin Lacey back there to return this punt.
Yeah, that's a huge stop because that momentum swung. Uncle Mo! Uncle Mo swung the other way for the Hokies.
Feltzisis to punt it away, and a short, low-line drive away from Lacey, and a nice pass. That is going to be a great punt. Inside the 3. Let's send it back to our guys in the studio. Yammer.
Tom, that was a heck of a punt. You got a Hardee's game break for you. How about this? 38-yard field goal attempt. SMU down 20-17. Sam Keltner burying that. We are in overtime now at 20.
Yeah, and the reason that SMU had a chance to kick that field goal and tie the game is because on a failed 4th and 9, Miami was whistled for unnecessary roughness. Automatic first down for SMU and able to tie the game.
More wild times in the ACC.
Right in front of the cadets down there. A couple thousand of them. And no running room whatsoever for Isaac Brown on first down.
Yeah, this is a situation for this Cardinals offense. You're backed up, right? You're extremely close to your own end zone. So you want to try to find some plays that's going to give you a little bit of breathing room. teams also are liable to take a shot here and throw it down the field, but right now it looks like they're trying to just get some room, at least get it to the 5 or the 8 around that area.
Lost Fleet handed in the end zone and a little bit of room up to the 6-yard line, but it brings up a 3rd down. You know, a lot of tackles being made by guys that are freshmen or sophomores. And, you know, Wes, that's something we heard from the coaches yesterday. There's some young players playing really well right now for Tech.
Yeah, they do. Through 7 games, they've had 11 true freshmen take the field, led by guys like Chambers out there for them as well, and Sheldon Robinson. They've been key contributors for them this season.
Yes, they have. 3rd down. Moss steps into the throw, and what a tackle made, denying first-time yardage by Caleb Spencer. He is their leading tackler, the transfer from Miami.
He just reads the cue, sees the ball thrown, and makes an awesome tackle. Hit and drive for 5.
He drops Bell there. Spencer had 9 tackles, including 1 for a loss in the overtime victory against Cal. Last time they punted, it was blocked. Oh, they almost got it again. Well, the Cardinals might want to tighten up that punt game. One's been blocked, and that one almost blocked. Great field position for the Hokies when we come back. You're watching CW Football Saturday, presented by Marco's Pizza. Order your Marco's Pizza today. And by Ace, the helpful place. Man, you want to talk about a player. I mean, I know that's breaking news. Golly day. He came back healthy the other night, throws 4 touchdown passes. Yeah, he's just unbelievable. And he just loved listening to him interviewed. Upbeat.
He's such a good kid at the end.
No doubt about it. On his game. First down, drones. Protection breaks down. A little shovel pass to the tight end, and that'll be a gain of 12 yards. Finding Rikus Hairston.
Look, when Kyron Drones is going through his entire progression and then decides to improvise, I kind of feel like he's in his zone right now. But he is. He's the soul of this offense. Makes everything go.
So Hairston has a big future ahead of him. He's got 3 touchdowns so far this year. Doesn't get the ball a lot. Here's Stewart back into the game. And wrapped up after a gain of, looked like 6.
Speaking of Hairston, he made a good block right down the edge. See Drones just with the left hand.
They make it look so easy, you know. Stewart stays in there, and he'll get the football in a big hole up the middle, and that's good enough for a first down to the Louisville 25-yard line. Hokies on the move.
I love you get this more motion and just the counter against the linebackers moving to the side and instant handoff.
And they have an injured player, Louisville, TJ Quinn. He is their leading tackler, 3-year starter. Tried to lead the team in tackles for 3 straight years. Hope he's okay. We'll be back. You're watching CW Football Saturday, presented by Progressive Commercial Insurance. See if you can save at progressivecommercial.com. Good start for Virginia Tech. Wasn't so rosy after a couple of plays in a 52-yard touchdown run by Isaac Brown, but it's been all Virginia Tech ever since. And now first down. Stewart trying to turn the corner and comes back the other way in his clothesline. I mean, he's lit up by Renee Conga, but a clean tackle and a loss on the play.
Great blocking on the perimeter. I was waiting to say his name all day. Big Renee. Last week took our quarterback from BC and tossed him to the coolers.
That's like Deacon Jones' old days stuff there.
Yes.
All the young people say, who the heck's a Deacon Jones?
Listen, he's slap you upside the head. That's what he would do.
All right, 2nd down and 12 for Virginia Tech. They fake it to Hawkins, and then there's that little shovel pass again to the tight end, but it did not fool Louisville defensively. Got Gordon there. Also had Capers there, so it brings up 3rd down and 11 at the 25.
It's pretty cool to watch this offense. Anytime Jones is in trouble, he has an outlet right there ready for him.
Dylan Montgomery was hired as the offensive coordinator this year under Brent Pry, so he is still the play caller. 7 years head coach at Tulsa. Into the hands of Hawkins. Great blocking on the outside, and he has a 1st down on a 3rd down and 11. Well, I mean to tell you, that is as good as it gets, blocking on the outside.
With these receivers, you're talking 6'2", 6'3", 6'1", the tight ends out there. So just the pure strength.
Quick hitter goes to Cameron Selden, and he's very close, maybe a yard short of another 1st down to the 5-yard line. Needs to get to the 4, so 2nd down and 1, and they're hurrying up to the line of scrimmage.
Look up top right here. This block by Donovan Green, boom, right in the face. Get out of the way. That's the block you're talking about.
And Selden will get it in the end zone. Touchdown, Virginia Tech. The former running back transferred from the University of Tennessee in his 1st year as a wide receiver, and that is his 2nd receiving touchdown.
I'm telling you, they went 3 times to the same side because Donovan Green is whipping the defensive back up top.
I don't know who Coach Braun is wearing out over there, but he is wearing somebody out, or somebody's.
Well, we got the halftime show. It's presented by Subaru. Love, it's what makes Subaru, Subaru. It's coming up just a couple minutes. George Reister, Michael Bumpus will join me in studio. We'll get their thoughts on the 1st half. We'll tell you about an ugly streak that Duke just snapped, and we got overtime drama between SMU and Miami. Those highlights around the corner.
16-7, and they're talking about that game that went to overtime between SMU and Miami lost. So now that's 2 losses inside the conference for the Hurricanes. Their other loss to this Louisville team. And I tell you what, a team that was in the top 5 3 weeks ago is going to have a very hard time getting to the playoff, much less a championship game.
Top 2 and just imploded, yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of talent on that Miami team. We saw them earlier this year. They bring in Carson Beck. Of course, he threw, 4 interceptions against this Louisville team.
Yeah, I was going to say, all it takes is one team to show the chink in your armor, and that was Louisville who did that.
But Louisville has work to do right now because Louisville very much has a chance to be playing in Charlotte and to get to a college football playoff. But right now, trailing 16-7. Next week, CW Football Saturday, coast to coast. You and I will be in Chapel Hill. Carolina looked good last night.
Yes, they did.
Got a win at Syracuse, taking on Stanford. And then Sam Houston takes on Oregon State. It all gets underway at 4 o'clock Eastern, 1 Pacific only on the CW. Congratulations to Coach Belichick. I mean, look, it's been a rough ride. But that was his first ACC conference win.
And it was a dominant win. It was a pure dominant win across the board.
Yeah, I mean, they looked like a real football team last night. Offense and defense. All right, 1st down for the Cardinals. Crossing pattern to Lacey. I mean, right there, step for step with him, Caleb Woodson.
Yeah, you can even see the bouncing step on this Virginia Tech defense. These guys are locked in and just ready to attack every time they get a chance to. They're doing an awesome job of just eliminating explosive. If you can make this Louisville offense drive the football, you're going to give yourself a chance because they've been living off the explosive plays.
That's their 34-year-old defensive coordinator in his first year, Sam Seifkas. And Brown able to cross the 30 up to the 32. So, you know, you get the 52-yard touchdown run on the first series. And ever since then, it's been punt, punt, punt for Louisville. They had a punt blocked that went for a safety. You just get the feeling with the momentum right now with 7:21 to go until halftime. Louisville needs this first down.
Tight formation, looking for crosses across the field.
And they do pick up the first down. The always reliable Chris Bell.
Yeah, when in doubt, it's players, not plays. And you find him coming across the middle. You saw a tight formation. That means all the receivers are lined up inside the numbers. That is alert crosser, some kind of crossing route, crossing formation.
Well, that was an ugly throw by Moss.
Hey, first down.
That's right. That's all that matters. Not how, it's if. Give him a little room here. Fires down the middle and had it drop. The infrequently used Antonio Meeks.
Yeah, you see Philip Morris, I think he's looking down first, and then all of a sudden he finds his receiver, but still, all in all, should be completed.
Yeah, Meeks only has transfer from Tuskegee, only 7 catches all year long. He had a great 3 years at Tuskegee. Under pressure, and he's going to run it. He's done an excellent job running the ball. That was not his reputation, but when he's had to run it this year, especially down near the goal line.
Yeah, he showed that last week versus BC. He actually had a touchdown run where he's dropping back, and he's like, look, if it's available, I'm going to take it. But here, look at the drive chart for Louisville. Out the gate with the TD, and then turnover, block punt. Been rough going around so far.
Yeah, Moss had the interception. You had the block punt. You had another punt. And now for the first time, a couple of first downs. First time in a while. And Moss chased, throws across the field. No chance. Incomplete.
Yeah, it looked like he had Bell wide open in the middle, but this is what we were talking about earlier. Him getting a little jittery back there in the pocket. Sometimes you got to stand there and deliver. And he had Bell wide open in the middle of the field.
And that's what we've heard. It's not, getting on the kid Moss. But other coaches, when they're looking for just little tendencies and things against your opponent, it doesn't matter who it is. If you can find a little something, then you're going to try to exploit that. And for virtually every quarterback, Moss isn't alone. You put a lot of heat against a lot of guys, they're going to have a hard time completing passes. Moss slings it away, catch is made. Excellent open field tackle is made right there.
Hey, Wes, I'm seeing somebody in Bill Moss's face every single play. You have an end zone shot. What are you seeing there?
So Isaiah Cass dropping the tight end, Kariski.
Yeah, see that tech? I'm trying to talk to my guy, Wes, but this tech crowd is loud right now.
Louisville just 1 of 4 on third down to 3rd and 8. Bring the blitz. It's batted into the air and incomplete, and a flag comes down. I think that's a late hit and a roughing the passer against Virginia Tech.
Yeah, it looked like they hit him right on the helmet. As soon as the ref sees that, he's throwing the flag.
Now they're going to talk it over. With the ball being tipped, I think it might take away.
Still protecting the quarterback. As you mentioned, yeah, the ball was tipped, but
Jordan Bass is the one who...
Personal foul.
Yep.
Roughing the passer. Retargeting. Defense number 6. 15-yard penalty. Automatic. First down.
They hit him right across us ahead. That's just a mental mistake, and Virginia Tech has had a number of those this year. We saw Ben Bell in a critical situation earlier this year, same kind of thing, and I think Bass has been thrown out of the game. Or are they reviewing it? Well, the right arm came on right in the back of the head. Was the helmet. So they're going to take a look at this thing. And I'm not sure if the helmet, also the crown of the helmet, made contact. Mike Mothershed back in our studio. What do you think here?
You know, Tom, when I look at that contact, I don't see that as forcible contact. I do, and I don't know. I know they called targeting. I don't know. I couldn't hear if they called roughing the passer. I would support roughing the passer, eye contact.
After further review, there is no foul for targeting.
Okay. You hit the nail on the head there, Michael Mothershed. Thank you very much, sir. So it is still a roughing the passer penalty, 15 yards, and it takes Louisville off the hook. They would have had to have punted again.
Yeah, I don't know where the targeting situation, but again, if the quarterback gets hit in the head, that's the instant flag for the most part for most referees.
Okay, so a first down for the Cardinals, and man, Louisville needed that. Darryl DeBerry, the referee, still filling in for the Montgomery about what exactly happened there. Bass is still in the game.
I love it, Coach Montgomery getting this crowd up. He's funny because he's such a laid-back, chill guy, but I tell you what, he's competitive as anyone.
In 7 years as head coach at Tulsa, it took him to 4 bowl games. First down, they get it in the hands of Colin Lacey. Tell you what, Caleb Woodson is all over the field. You know, he leads them in tackles per game, but he was out a month injured. So he's just now coming back and getting into playing condition again. He's a player when he's out there.
Yeah, this is awesome technique. He runs and he stays on the inside hip, the near hip, waiting for the cutback to make that tackle.
This Louisville run game has been completely shut down. This whole offense has been shut down outside of one run by Brown. There's Lacey, and he reaches forward. Think he's just about a yard short of a first down. Yep, going to bring up third down and a yard. He stepped out, but he had the ball. Oh, no, he was out of bounds before he stretched it out.
Yeah, so it's that foot step right out of bounds.
All right, so third down and 1. Isaac Brown in the backfield. He gets it and does not get the first down.
It's funny, you think Miller's would keep it in that situation, but he's been getting hit so much on this drive. Now we're going for a quarterback change here.
Cody Heisman made the tackle there. So Deuce Adams checks in at quarterback. And he's going to keep it himself, and he is dropped by Heisman again, and Louisville denied on 3rd and 1 and 4th and 1.
They do a good job staying home. Get out of my way, sir. Cody just bench presses the receiver. How dare you try to block me with a young man like that? Get out of the way.
He had a season-best 4 tackles in a transfer from North Dakota State against Cal last week.
I mean, he literally lifted him out of the way. That is crazy. That just shows you the strength of football players in general. It's different. It is different to just take another human being and politely escort them out of the way.
Overton Jr. back in the backfield. He's getting a lot of playing time here today. Young man who was Mr. Football in the state of Virginia a year ago. And they fake it to him. Catch is made on the far side of the field by Takai Heath. Let's go downstairs.
Hey, let's take a look here. They've been throwing on the perimeter. We've been having some outstanding blocking, specifically from Donovan Green, just making a way. Look at this, is in succession. Another one, boom, face to face. And here for the touchdown, just enough. He tries to snatch it inside, just enough to get his teammate into the end zone. So blocking it on the perimeter for the receivers has been huge for this Tech offense.
Sure has. And, ask Wes Bryant about that, because that's something that we heard a lot about in our meetings yesterday. Here's a good, strong run by Overton Jr. And that'll be enough for a first down. And, Wes, you were talking about that yesterday, the unselfishness of some of these receivers.
To be divas. We know wide receivers can have a tendency to be divas, probably like Will Blackman was. But these guys, Aiden Green, Donovan Green, and Cam Selden, coming into this game, had 58 receptions combined, only 10 more than Chris Bell. So they know they're not going to get a ton of catches out here. So you got to love the unselfishness, the way that they're blocking, making this run game go. Got to take your hat off to those guys down there working hard.
And Will's got to get up off the ground. You just shoved him in front of the bus. Stay tuned for the final 2 minutes of the half, presented by the Wells Fargo Active Cash credit card. Help Mr. Blackman up, please.
Offense getting in field goal range. Obviously, try to get a touchdown. You want as many points as possible, but field goal.
Drone hit as he throws, and a penalty flag comes in. And when I say one of the best field goal kickers, he might be the best field goal kicker in the country, in John Love. And going in the direction which they're going right now, he was hitting from 65 yards out in pregame. 65.
Personal foul, face mask, defense number 9, 15-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
He's already hit from 56 this year. His career long is 60.
Yeah, he was smooth sailing from the V.
Well, you just got him a little closer.
There's a face mask there. You see it in the slot. Tony Wash is grabbing the face mask there.
All right, so an automatic first down. Just short of midfield. Hawkins slips to the left side for a couple of yards. Virginia Tech, all 3 timeouts left. 1:45 remains.
Yeah, you can see this Virginia Tech offense just taking their time. No huddle, but still just taking their time, getting to the line, letting this clock roll.
Blitz coming, they pick it up. And well short.
I mean, did they pick it up? Marcellus Hawkins just straight up stood there like a wall.
I don't know what happened. Maybe Drones lost a handle. He had Aiden Green wide open.
Yeah, you'll see Hawkins right here just step up. Boom, these guys are hitting, okay? These guys are blocking today. This is a committed team, especially dealing with adversity earlier this season. They bought in together, man, and you can see right there, when you're willing to block as a unit, it shows everything.
3rd down and 8, 4-man rush. Look out for Drones, and he lowers his shoulder. It's all going to depend on where they mark this ball. He is very close. I think he's going to be about a foot short, So it's 4th down, and they're going to hurry up and snap it. And they do snap it, and I don't know if Drones got there. I think a timeout may have been called, and there's a penalty flag on the far side of the field, so there's a lot going on here.
Yeah, I hope the timeout was called because the receiver was not set up top.
You know, sometimes, you know, Will, you played the game, West, but sometimes I just wonder if that's the right move. On a 4th down, you're scrambling, you've got 3 timeouts left. Why not call a timeout and make sure that on a 4th and a foot or whatever, I know you want to get them off guard, I get that. But sometimes not everybody's going to be ready. And this now is going to become 4th and 6 rather than 4th and 1.
Yeah, you'll see top of your screen, he does not get set in time. I mean, I like the idea.
Offense number 15. 5-yard penalty. 4th down.
Wes, what is your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I would agree, man, because as Tom said, guys are trying to scramble. You got to get lined up, find out what a line of scrimmage is so it can get a little bit busy down there.
I just wonder now, you know, by doing it the way they did it. Now, look, the guy wasn't set, But now all of a sudden, are you going to go for it on 4th down and 6 from midfield with a minute left against a team that, granted, has not gotten it going offensively, but they're as explosive as any team in the country? You got to punt, right?
Yeah, you see the bring the punt team. But again, if he just had some urgency and got set, I'm all for it.
All right, well, it comes back to bite them here because they had something going on there, especially with their field goal kicker. Lacey stands back inside of his own 10. End over end punt, unreturnable here. That's the 2nd time, right around the 10 or inside the 5. Louisville will start a drive. Fastest growing cable network in all of television, News Nation. Respects all Americans and is news for all Americans. To find News Nation, go to newsnationnow.com. Okay, 50 seconds left. Louisville has all 3 timeouts, but they're at their own 10.
Yeah, first play here, if I'm Louisville, I'm going up top. I'm not wasting any time. I'm going up top.
Isaac Brown spins out of a couple of tackles and crosses the 15. They still have to run one more play, and they're going to hurry up to the line of scrimmage. Launches it down the sideline. No chance. That's thrown into double coverage. And an eye for Dakari Collins. Louisville is 1 for 5 on 3rd down in this game. And, you know, now here you go again, flipping the script, right? You got a good little run on 1st down. You throw it, but it's incomplete on 2nd down. If Virginia Tech can get a stop here on 3rd down, force a punt.
Right, I got a chance to get more points on the board.
Kewan Brown in the backfield. They're going to throw it. And it's caught by Lacey. And that extra effort got him a 1st down. And smacking his hands together over there was Thomas Williams. They felt like they had the receivers stopped. To the deck. Elijah Fall, the first one there, had help from Ben Bell.
Yeah, that's what you can't do. You're going to hear this live. You can't take a sack right there. And they're just going to eat this football and take it to the half.
Tell you what, everybody wondered, you know, is this a trap, that old trap game thing for Louisville? Been on quite a run here. And it has not been a good first half for the 16th ranked team in the country.
Look, we know one thing in our network. Anybody could be anybody.
Well, after the break, back to the CW Football Saturday studio with Mike, Michael, and George. 16-7 home team. You're watching CW Football Saturday, presented by Marco's Pizza. Order your Marco's Pizza today. You know, the number's a little bit misleading because of the 132 yards there, Will Blackman, for Louisville. 52 came on one play.
Right. A lot of yak, but not not a lot of production overall. But yeah, I mean, this is a wild game. You know, Virginia Tech is able to eliminate the explosive plays, and they've shown if you can make this Louisville offense drive the football, you give yourself a strong chance.
So let's go downstairs and check in with a big man, Wes Bryant.
Well, I talked to Jeff Brom coming out of the locker room. I felt like I was a waiter taking an order with all of the things he said they needed to do better. He said they needed to be precise. He said they needed to block better, tackle better, throw better, you name it. He said they have to do that better if they want to win this game in the second half. I just hope he tips with it.
Well, my question is, what about you throwing our man in front of the bus a little bit earlier?
Hey man, you
listen,
know, I know how receivers get. I always wanted to be a wide receiver. If I'd have been one, I would have been a big diva. You better believe it.
Wes, I'll admit, look, I was hard-nosed, blue-collar, tough. But I'll tell you what, when I went to offense, man, they gave me a lot of leeway now. You know,
you got to take advantage of that.
They said, well, you don't got to practice today. I said, no problem. You know, they let me do what I want. So
That's right. You were Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, man.
When he played offense, he was a diva. When he was on defense,
I'm telling you, I'm not going to fight that.
I was a diva as an offensive lineman.
I was getting ready to wonder that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good stuff. All right, here we go, boys and girls. This is second half. And, I mean, look, you can say whatever you want. You say it's over-dramatizing the situation. It is not. Looking what's already happened today in the ACC, Miami losing to SMU in overtime. This is Lacey out of the end zone, and look out. He's all the way up to the 33-yard line. Man, is he something else in the return game. But for Louisville, you know, this is a game you can't lose. If you want to play in Charlotte and you want to have a chance for the college football playoff, we're going to find out what they're made out of here in the last 30 minutes of football.
Yeah, because there's going to be a lot of movement at the top of these standings, so everything matters with this Louisville Cardinals team.
Georgia Tech will play tonight at NC State. That's no layup.
UVA is playing right now. This is Carroll.
Yep, and that's a 4-point game. And a pitch and catch, and that's a good way to get it started. You find Bell right from the get-go, and that is a first down up to the 47-yard line. 46 are going to mark it. Very poor numbers for Moss.
Yeah, I mean, this defensive line for Tech is all over the place. In his face every single play. And you mentioned the numbers for Brown, 52 on one play.
First down throw is a gain of 5 to Bell once again.
It looks like they decided to come out throwing, you know, to get his confidence back, because the way they ended that half, they were just beating him up. Even the personal foul, it was still a mesh and set that knocked him down.
Lacey in motion. Isaac Brown takes a pitch, looking to turn the corner, and that is really good pursuit defensively.
You talked about Caleb Woodson, man. He came from the top of the V all the way across the field, and his pursuit is crazy.
And he's healthy again. He's just come back to playing the last 2 games. So now another third down for Jeff Brom's team.
You can show him blitz.
2 of 6 so far, and making 2 of 7 on the incompletion to the tight end. And just when you thought Louisville was getting a little momentum, the Cardinals will punt. That's a great defensive play made right there.
Looked like the young guy, Noah Chambers, jumped in there.
Boy, he is really playing well, man.
You know what, with the young group, with 16, 15, 14, that's how Coach Tiska said it.
Right.
With Johnson, Chambers, and Robinson, the one thing I noticed about them, they all were multi-year captains in high school. Noah Chambers, 4-year captain. Brendan Johnson, 3-time captain. And Robinson, a 2-time captain in high school.
Well, next week, CW Courtside Saturday is back. All tips off number 6-2 coasting Western Carolina at Cameron. CW Courtside Saturday next week. The Duke Blue Devils ranked number 6 in the preseason polls. 1:30 Eastern, 10:30 Pacific, only on the CW. And of course, then right after that, we'll go down Tobacco Road.
Holding. Receiving team number 53. 10-yard penalty from the end of the kick. first down.
So this drive will start at the 10-yard line rather than the 20. But after that basketball game next week, then Will, you and I, and Wes will be in Chapel Hill to see the Tar Heels and the Stanford Cardinals. And then, of course, we're going out west, Oregon State. Big deal.
I've been instructed to ask you who won the championship last year in basketball. I'm sorry.
I mean, are you trying to, like, play up to our producer who happens to be an employee?
I'm not playing up.
Florida.
I get a
That's
request.
because the Florida guys now have gone from wanting to be good at football to now shifting gears to basketball.
All right, Tech is on offense. Let's get
All right, here we go. First down. And Kyron Drones is going to pitch it to Hawkins. Solid defense there by Louisville. It's not like Louisville's defense, gave up a ton of yards in that first half. They only gave up 140 yards of offense. But the problem was, you had a pick thrown by your quarterback. You had a blocked punt.
Right, the short field has been the issue.
Right.
Yeah, because coming into this game, this Cardinal defense has been, even though we talk about the offense, this has been the most consistent side of the football.
This is one of the best defensive units in the country, make no mistake about it. And a short gain there up to the 15-yard line, so it brings up, they're going to mark it at the 16, so it brings up a 3rd down and 4 for Philip Montgomery's team. Hawkins in the backfield. They've thrown to him a lot so far today. Quick slant. And, boy, he had an open receiver, and he just threw a fastball. I mean, no chance for Takai Heath. And he took a big shot from Quinn, who was shaken up earlier in the game. Nice to see him back out there.
Yeah, from that angle, you can see TJ Quinn. He's just reading Drones' eyes and just goes to the football. TJ Quinn, he's one of the best coverage linebackers in the entire country. His linebacking grade is top 5 in the country, so he does a great job just reading the eyes, making the plays.
Low snap and wobbly punt. And it will go out of bounds, so Louisville will get the ball close to midfield for the second drive of the second half, trailing 16-7 to Tech. You're watching CW Football Saturday, presented by Marco's Pizza. Order your Marco's Pizza today. And by Drive Time. Get approved at drivetime.com.
Now listen, I played against this Virginia Tech team in 2 different conferences, and they've been known for special teams back in the day. We call it beating the ball. You get a block punt, dropping it inside the 5, inside the 10. So far, they've been controlling the field position on special teams.
First down throw, and it starts the same way the last drive did, and that's a catch to Bell. There's the great Frank Beamer.
Listen, those were the most competitive games I've been a part of, was against those Frank Beamer teams. And it's funny because now all my friends from college football, majority of them came from Virginia Tech.
No kidding.
Back from D'Angelo Hall, and you got Darryl Tapp, Jonathan Lewis.
Well, slow to get up there. I mean, look, you can win. It has been proven. And you can win big here at Virginia Tech. Incredible fan base, great facilities, gorgeous campus, Power 4 conference.
Athletes galore. I mean,
athletes all over the state and in the region. Here's Scott with running room, breaks a couple of tackles, and that'll be a gain of 10. A first down for the Cardinals now to the Virginia Tech 31. They'll spot it at the 30-yard line.
Yeah, this is the thing. If they can get, these running backs can get to the second level that quickly, that's where it gets dangerous.
Brown had the 52-yard touchdown run, so his overall numbers look really good. 11 carries for 95 yards. But, again, had the huge monster run and pretty quiet until that last one. Catch by Lacey. And that'll be a gain of 8 on first down. So starting to find a little bit of rhythm here on this second possession of the second half. 10-15 to go in the third.
Yeah, Isaiah Brown-Murray, he's mad at himself because he knows he should have attacked the outside leg and missed that tackle to try to get no gain.
It'll be a 2nd down and 3 for Jeff Braun's team. 54-year-old Louisville native. They'll hand it to Scott. And he has dropped Brown, I beg your pardon, and he has dropped immediately. So we're talking about 13-14, very right? There we go again.
Yeah, the young boys holding it down. You got Copeland right there, who's not. He's a consummate veteran there.
Well, that's one of those freak athletes you were talking about. That guy bench presses 450 pounds and squats 685.
Yeah, you got Copeland, you got KG, Kevin Gillian up there. I mean, those guys, like I said, mutants.
All right, 3rd down and 4 for Louisville.
They've been showing blitz and dropping the coverage in this situation, but here they're bringing the house.
And they pick it up beautifully. And down the middle of the field, that is a touchdown by Colin Lacey. And so the Cardinals draw within 3, and they needed this.
Yeah, in the slot, he just wins his matchup. There's your bang 8 right there we talked about a week ago. Skinny post for a touchdown. Offensive line, I swear, they look like a Spartan phalanx the way they picked up that blitz right there.
Ranvier with a point after the Lexington native, and it is good. So game on now. 9:07 to go in the third. Cardinals needing to win each and every game the rest of the way. Much needed touchdown for the 16th ranked team in the country. Only one loss. And that was an overtime heartbreaker against the Virginia Cavaliers. Virginia playing out of Cal today. Cal's a good, solid team. And Virginia on the road with a 17-7 lead in that one. If you weren't with us earlier, Miami lost today. Our entire crew told you all about that. And bringing it out of the end zone is Prelo. Bounces off one tackle and gets it up to the 23-yard line. Well, you know, Wes, we were talking yesterday, and you pointed out how Louisville, this is a second-half kind of team.
Yeah, they are. They're one of the best second-half teams in the country. They average around 16 second-half points a game. That's good for 4th in the ACC and 30th in all of college football. So you got to beware. They make adjustments in the second half.
Coach Brom is just such an outstanding coach.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, kicking team, receiving team number 4, correction, receiving team number 4.
Well, the crowd went from cheering to
First down.
It's Jeremiah Coney. I tell you, it's 2 penalties now on kickoffs in a row. From a 20, it forced you to start at the 10 the last time. This time, let's see where they're going to spot the ball. The return was out to the 22-yard line, but they're already walking inside the 15 and continuing to walk. So they're going to put it down just outside the 11. That's a big difference, man, the 22 and the 11.
Yeah, it definitely changes what you can do, or what you prefer to do, play calling-wise. You still got plenty of room where you're not too close to your end zone, but you never know.
Number 4 right there on the block. Both guys blew each other up.
Yeah, you see him stand over.
I mean, look, you can boo all you want. I mean, whether you agree with it or don't agree with it about, you know, that kind of,
you know what's tough?
That's the call.
What's tough is sometimes when you get a good hit, you just can't help it. But when you get to legally hit somebody like that,
you can't help yourself. That's the way I feel about stopping eating. If can't help myself. I just keep going. First down, nowhere to go. 6 Cardinals wrapping up Hawkins. And now drones at Virginia Tech.
Yeah, he was completely surrounded by white jerseys.
Now Montgomery, the play caller. Loss of 2 on the first down run, and drone's going to run it this time. And he's out across the 20. He needed to get to almost a 22 for a first down. Now, are they going to hurry it up again like the last time where they jumped off sides? They're going to take their time this time before a third down and a yard.
Yeah, what's hard about this play is you really don't know who has the football because they've been handing it off, and now it becomes a quarterback lead, or quarterback follow, rather.
Right, a shotgun, third and a yard. You've got the running back or the quarterback, both outstanding runners. And it'll be the running back, and that's Hawkins, and he has a first down. Beautiful fall day here in the mountains of Virginia. The colors are amazing here this time of year, 1st of November. We'll be getting to serious football weather. It's considerably cooler here, but today is beautiful. Last couple days have been windy, chilly, but golly day, what a perfect day for college football and a good game here in the Atlantic Coast Conference. 7:20 to go. Selden, the receiver, brings it out to the 28-yard line. I mean, I made that drive from Ohio down through West Virginia into Virginia.
Oh, you went a field trip.
That's right. Virginia is for lovers. That's their state saying forever since I lived here as a little kid. Back in Virginia Beach 8,000 years ago.
You do seem very peaceful in this state.
Yeah, it's so pretty. Gosh, one of the prettiest states in America. And nothing pretty about that unless you're rooting for the defense. That was Denzel Lowry. I just said Virginia Beach. That's where he's from. Must have heard me up here.
So no love here.
Transfer from Old Dominion. Of course, Old Dominion came in here and roughed up Virginia Tech earlier this year. And that was the last game coached by Brent Pry. So 3rd down and 10. Protection, and wide open, and overthrown slightly or off the fingertips of Donovan Green. I don't know if he slowed up. Not sure what happened there, but my goodness, this should have been a touchdown.
I mean, right there, I mean, it couldn't have been thrown any better. I mean, that couldn't have been thrown any better. That should have been 6.
Donovan Green has been around forever.
You know me, I'm the man of the people, and I try to find a reason for the players, but that right there, he just got to come away with that.
No doubt about it. I mean, that is a touchdown, or at the minimum a 40, 50-yard gain. Instead, now you give the ball to Lacey in Louisville with room to run, and look out here. He has 2 of them this year. Cuts it to the 30, trying to turn the corner, and run. For what would have been a 3rd time this season on a punt return.
I mean, he had his foot like as if he was in the blocks ready to get out of there.
63-yard return.
I mean, watch, he catches and doesn't waste any time. Foot in the ground. And just trying to find his way to the end zone. I love that he didn't give up. Just go out of bounds. He's trying to find a way to get there.
Ooh, boy.
That's the one thing with Louisville. You give them an opportunity, they'll make you pay.
Well, the Cardinals have shown up here in the second half. No 2 ways about that. And now looking for the lead. The only lead they had in the game is when it was 7-0. They give it to Kewan Brown. And he's to the 2-yard line. We have not seen Duke Watson today. We wondered if we might. They're hoping to have him back for that stretch run. He's only played in one game since September. Kewan Brown again in the backfield. Two tight ends. Brown up and over the top, and he is in for a touchdown, and the Cardinals have taken the lead. They trailed 16-7 at the intermission, but 2 touchdowns unanswered to take the lead.
Is my favorite, the cam. You just see the guys cut down, the offensive lineman cut down the defensive line so he can hop over the top. Got a little action here. Referee trying to break it up.
Needed all of 2 plays to go 5 yards after the 63-yard return by Lacey. And Ranvier on for the point after. Mentioned he's from Lexington. That's the only time anybody from Louisville roots for anything from Lexington, is when he plays for your team. How about the Cardinals? They got it rolling. Can Tech answer? 21-16. The 16th ranked Louisville Cardinals. And we were talking about that a few minutes ago, how good they have been in the second half this season, and 14-0 run. Virginia Tech has run 9 total plays on offense for a grand total of 19 yards here in the second half.
Yeah, that was a great call by West. You see the point differential. It's pretty large, and it shows right now to go the lead in this half.
Newest show in the iconic TV series Law & Order Toronto, Criminal Intent, is now on the CW. Same group that brought you the original series, New York. Now a new network, Law & Order Toronto, Criminal Intent, new episode Wednesday night, 8 Eastern, 7 Central, right here on the CW. All right. So for the first time since the Isaac Brown 52-yard touchdown, the Cardinals have the lead. Now, Kyron Drones and company fell behind. You may remember the last time they played against Cal. Wound up being a double overtime thriller. Do they have a comeback in them here today with 5 minutes to go in the third quarter? First down run and nothing going on for Overton Jr. Just wonder, you know, Overton Jr. getting carries, it makes you wonder, is Stewart nicked up? Is Hawkins nicked up? Overton has basically not played, by and large, all year long.
Yeah, you do wonder, because coming into the game, we talked about the 1-2 punch with Hawkins and Stewart being both extremely effective running backs.
I mean, Overton Jr., he's got bright days ahead of him at Virginia Tech. That's a nice decision there by Drones. And a first down up to the 42-yard line.
Yeah,
when he does a little more of that.
Yeah, this is exactly what they were doing last week versus Cal. He was keeping it. They were going after the run. You see he gets Clev looping right there. He's able to get the first down.
Drones to throw it on first down. And the catch is made by Aiden Green, young man from Knoxville, Tennessee, Powell High School. Played for Hall of Fame coach Matt Lowe.
This is what I'm saying, the arm strength. He's just chilling on the opposite hash and just throws it all the way outside the numbers for a completion.
Give it to Overton. And, I mean, he is stood up right now by A.J. Green, the redshirt sophomore out of Atlanta. And Perry was right there, number 12. Boy, Perry, he's done a really nice job. When Stanquan Clark went down, and they asked Perry, who's from Georgetown, Kentucky, transfer from Tennessee, to step in there, he has delivered the goods. Ball on the ground, and Virginia Tech covered it up. Ran the option there to a wide receiver, getting really cute here, Virginia Tech. I bet they haven't run that play 3 times all year.
Yeah, no, this is a play, I would say that they ran a couple times which been effective, either a speed option or regular option in the first half, and just so happens they dropped it right there. Again, your favorite guy, Uncle Mo.
Yeah, that's right, Uncle Mo.
He's out here right now.
And in fairness, Selden is a converted running back.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
He's played running back in Tennessee. In fact, he had a good year at Tennessee last year running the ball. But now you're 3rd down and 14. Drones. Shovel pass is broken up. And again, right in the middle of all of it is Caleb Perry. So they had a little something going there, and then you fumble the pitch on the option, puts you at 3rd and 14, and forced to punt again to Lacey.
You know, unfortunately, they're punting on this side of the 50, so hang the ball up in the air and hopefully create a fair catch or pin him down the 10-yard line again.
Ball checks up, and it's out of bounds at the 13-yard line. Next week on NXT, I got to get Wes Bryant's reaction to this. Fallon Henley, Laney Reed, J.C. James collide with Lola Vice, Izzy Dame, and NXT Women's Champion Tatum Paxley. 6-woman tag team match. Any thoughts on that, Wes Bryant?
Well, that one should be a lot of fun. I must admit, I am a big Lola Vice fan. So, you can take that and do what you want. But Lola Vice. But she is a very fierce competitor. I will say that. She came from the MMA world.
All right. Isaac Brown in the backfield, and a penalty flag before it ever gets started. I'm going to back up Louisville.
False start. Offense number 88. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Been all Cardinals here in the second half. A 14-0 run. Defense is stiffened up. Offense has found a little rhythm. They got another big punt return from Lacey, set up a touchdown. But now backed up inside their own 10 on a 1st and 15. Off a tackle, and he's going to get the first down on a 1st and 15 with a huge run. That'll be a 15-yard run for Isaac Brown, the sophomore out of Miami.
I mean, for how fast he is, I mean, his balance is absolutely incredible. I'll tell you what, these running backs from Miami, man, they are just dynamite.
I mean, last year, the first University of Louisville true freshman to go for better than 1,000 rushing yards. He went for 1,173 along with 11 touchdowns. Now, he's been nicked up here and there. Started the season healthy. Brown cuts it back to the inside. That's a solid gain of 5. He had back-to-back 100-yard games to begin the season. Then, pretty quiet for a while until he busted loose against his hometown team, Miami. And then 205 against BC.
As you mentioned, he's coming off gingerly right now. I know he's a little tired, but he came up slow.
And so that's his 10th 100-yard game today in 21 games since coming to Louisville. That's pretty good.
That's extremely good.
Second down and 5. Miller Moss all day to throw. Catch made. And a first down up to the 41-yard line to his favorite target, Chris Bell.
Yeah, it's no secret when Miller gets to sit there and do this, and he's extremely smart. Again, he has great zip on the football to get it to his receivers. He has time to do that. He can hurt you.
Louisville does not have to run another play. Why would you? You got a fresh set of downs, 1st and 10. You may as well burn.
Got the lead.
Yep. 10 seconds off the clock and go to the 4th quarter. For Bell, his 8th catch, 56 yards. Miller Moss through the front 3 quarters, 14 of 21, a touchdown, a pick, and 100 yards. But Louisville has quieted the crowd here in the second half. A couple of touchdowns to take a 5-point lead to quarter 4.
Let's take a look at today's Royal Caribbean game summary. From the get-go, Miller Moss said pressure, all good, I'm going to put up points for the touchdown. And then you know me as a former returner, I like when guys do this, and then you got a TD.
You ran back for scores in the NFL.
All levels, sir.
Big
all
leaguer.
levels.
Oh, golly. See, I give you a compliment.
All levels,
and
and I'm going to take it. Yes, all levels. Return extraordinaire.
Here we go in the fourth quarter. And Kewan Brown. Good pickup of 5 on first down, and the stats have swung dramatically. Look at all a bunch of people dressed up as college students today on Halloween weekend. But look at the numbers in the third quarter alone.
110 yards in the third quarter alone.
They had that tune "Shout from Otis Day" and the Knights.
I can tell who used to get loose back in the day.
That's
the
big
old people were dancing.
You mind if we dance with your dates? Second down. And Kewan Brown again into Virginia Tech.
Listen, Kewan's been running tough today. Okay, he's a big back.
And, you know, Isaac Brown is a sophomore. Kewan Brown is a sophomore. And Duke Watson is a sophomore.
Okay,
that's pretty good.
This is very, very good. They're going to be causing problems for many teams, as they have been all year already.
They really haven't got Duke Watson going because of his injury. We thought we might see him today, but not so far. Moss to Kewan Brown. And dumped right in his tracks by Noah Chambers. Talked about Chambers, how well he is playing. At DeMatha High School in Maryland. Very instinctive.
But that's the thing, too. A 4-time captain at DeMatha. That says so much.
It really does.
About the kind of player he is.
Yep. Can you imagine being a captain as a freshman on your high school football team? I don't know if I've ever heard of that.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Instant respect.
Second down and 8. Moss slings it out of there. Catch is made on the far side by Antonio Meeks, but he's short by 3 yards of a first down.
Just have that ball a little high. That's the one thing Miller Moss is doing. He's putting that back foot down and getting that football out of his hands immediately.
Virginia Tech needs a stop in the worst sort of way. Try and halt the bleeding. And wide open was Bell, and Moss missed him. I mean wide open between defenders. 2 different levels of defenders, and it looks like they're debating going for it here.
Yeah, he runs a nice fade on the outside there, and I will say he did see the safety in the corner of his eyes, Tommy. I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, he should have got that ball to him sooner.
Look at him. He walks over. He said, hey. Trying to run him down. He's been running Moss down all day long. Moss has gotten an earful today from his coach.
Well, look, you got 2 guys in the room who play quarterback.
Right, that's right. Professionally. Right. They weren't a bunch of stiffs. That's booted into the end zone. So, all right, here we go. 12:05 to play. Does Virginia Tech have an answer? Believe me, that's all he's been talking about in the commercial break.
Look, man, it's the holy war. We got to handle our business.
All right, first down, and a slant thrown a little late. He had an open receiver there. Peterkin. And just a little bit late. Good coverage, knocked down, second down and 10.
And not to brag, I am 3-0 versus Notre Dame, I'm going to say.
Oh, so, that's pretty good. There aren't a lot of guys who can say that play for anybody. I mean, not even USC. All right, second down and 10 now for Drones and the Hokies. They've been shut out here in the second half. Flag comes down. It's a good, strong run by Hawkins. But is it coming back?
Both sides, both line judges.
And they're trotting over to that Louisville sideline to see what they want to do. So that tells you it's against Tech. You'd have a 3rd and 4, or you could back them up to 2nd and 15.
Illegal shift. Offense. 2 players moving prior to the snap. You're not getting set for at least 1 second. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
Yeah, when you get a flag from both sides.
I think he made a mistake. I think it's 2nd down, right? They repeat the down here. Yeah, it's 2nd down and 15.
Players mess up.
Yeah, of course. hey, believe me. Drones has it batted down at the line of scrimmage. A little extra pushing and shoving at the end of that play. That was Justin Beatles. He played at Virginia Tech for 1 season. And he trots off the field, 3rd down and 15. It seems like that's the way Virginia Tech has played this entire second half. Good protection. Now it breaks down. Drone's going to take off. And he is chopped down at the 20. So Virginia Tech will punt again.
Wes, what are you seeing from this Virginia Tech offense? They've been looking real just low right now and out of sync.
Yeah, this Virginia Tech offense, man, they have been struggling, completing passes 5 yards or longer. They're 1 for 7 right now, so they got to be able to find some magic down the field somehow.
We're down to 11:05 to go by the time you put a foot on this one, and this should be very good field position again for Louisville, even if Lacey doesn't return it. And we know how that normally goes. He's driven back to the 28-yard line. He has a 63-yard return in the game already. Man, this guy, if there's a butter punt returner in the country, we've not seen him. This dude is unbelievable.
Aggressive player of the game. Look, your phone may not be ringing, but someone's calling. As in calling Lacey. Total yards. Got a nice touchdown catch there, and I swear he almost took this to the crib. All purpose, making all these plays. Today's player of the game is sponsored by Progressive. Get coverage you can count on with home and auto at progressive.com.
Well, he is 12th as he's tacking on more yards after that catch in all-purpose yards per game. Among all FBS players, 125 per game. Transfer from South Alabama.
And with him, it's just effortless. Even returning-wise, he's able to see the entire field, read his blocks, find the seams. Receiving-wise, off the line, he's shifty and is able to find the spots in the zones. He's great in terms of trying to tackle him one-on-one.
137 yards of offense for the Cardinals here in the second half compared to 54 for Virginia Tech. Isaac Brown dropped for no gain. It brings up a 3rd down and 5. And look, you're down under 10 minutes to go. Virginia Tech has done nothing on offense against this Louisville defense in the second half. They need a stop here. Trailing by 5.
So 3rd down, Tech has been showing pressure, then dropping in coverage. That's when they've been successful against this offense.
Moss throws and in and out of the hands of the aforementioned Lacey. And broken up by Isaiah Cash, so they get a 3rd down stop.
Yeah, this is twice. Isaiah Cash.
That's good.
Has delivered for this defense. Big plays. He had an interception earlier. And then here with this play on a corner route.
Yeah, you can't blame Lacey there. I mean, you know, as soon as it made contact with his hands, that ball basically just knocked out of there from behind. This is good defense. So Spencer stands back. Seemingly every drive here in the second half for Virginia Tech has started inside its own 10-yard line, and this might be another one. Maybe. They batted that ball back, and it's going to start inside the 10. Boy, that is a great special teams play. I believe that was number 7 who went back to make this play. You're watching CW Football Saturday, presented by Marco's Pizza. Order your Marco's Pizza today. And by Royal Caribbean. Come see you. Hope you've had a safe, happy Halloween weekend. They're still celebrating here in Hokie land. Rodney Johnson was the one we thought batted that ball back. And the officials talked it over, ruled it a touchback. Kyron Drones on first down starts his drive from the 20. And a strong run of 8 to start it.
Yeah, so you can see Coach Montgomery's already, hey, let's use your legs.
Oh, his foot had already gone into the end zone, yep. They talked it over quite a while and then decided, okay, out to the 20. Second down and 2. They're going to hand it off to Hawkins. And he breaks a couple of tackles and brings it to the 40-yard line. So that's a first down for Virginia Tech. Those have been few and far between here in the second half.
Yeah, he has his ability, this strength to just bounce off these tackles. They've been struggling trying to wrap him up majority of this game.
Well, you put things into context for the entire college football season. And you cannot stress enough what this defensive series means to the Louisville Cardinals. Drone's going to keep it in another strong run. That's a first down all the way to the 45. I mean, Louisville's lost one game. Miami lost again today, which almost knocks them out of the playoff.
Yeah, so look at this push from my favorite camera, the up cam.
So, you know, if you're the Cardinals, okay, Miami by the board, 2 conference losses now. You still have 2 undefeated teams, but you're right there with 1 loss. And Drone's going to throw it. Just really hurried the throw. Didn't even give his receiver a chance to come back to get it, or maybe the receiver tried to come back and get it and just lost his footing over there.
Yeah, it was good coverage, but he was looking to throw a back shoulder.
Yeah.
Right now, all the fans are, it was a little grab there, but still good coverage. Great thing about this situation is Virginia Tech, they've been resilient in terms of dealing with late games or close games. They're built for this. If anything, they just had one recently, so.
Yeah, their last game, a double overtime thriller, 42-34 against Cal. They're down by 5 here with 7:25 to go. And a timeout called by Virginia Tech before the play clock expired. Yes, Churchill Downs. Home of the Derby. I mean, you go yards per carry. George Stripling. Jawar Jordan. Some dude named Lamar Jackson. Of course, he's at the quarterback position. And then there's this year, Isaac Brown leads the nation in yards per carry. Man,
this graphic cracks me up.
It's good stuff.
Yeah, and Isaac's right on par. He's averaging 8 yards today.
Yeah, well, that's thanks to a 52-yarder. He's had some good runs since then.
That's been his deal, right?
That's right. I mean, he had 15 carries for 205. Did Isaac Brown against Boston College. So here we go. Second down and 10. Hawkins in the backfield off to the left hip of Drones. Drones going to keep it and finds a seam and bangs his way down to the 37. 7-yard line. It'll bring up a 3rd down and 2 for Virginia Tech. Clock winding now. Close to 7 minutes left in Blacksburg. And where you are in the game now. Every single play becomes bigger and bigger and bigger. Hawkins, and he is dropped behind the line of scrimmage. What a play right there by T.J. Capers.
That's a big play to just fly in there. Just taking a shot. No need to break down. Just go after the thigh board and get him down.
Well, Tech's going to go for it. Trailing by 5 with 6:15 to go. They need to get to the 35-yard line. They've had a hard time completing passes in this game.
Yeah, they've been great with the speed option and sprint pass in these situations.
Drones cuts it back to the inside, and he's not going to get there. So Louisville, on one of the biggest plays of the game, able to stop the 4th down try, and the Cardinals will get the ball back.
Yeah, I'm not mad at the play call, but it just looked like all the Louisville jerseys just came over there and took over. They seen that play before and knocked it out.
You know, the only thing you worry, though, you wonder about that call, and you tell me, Will, you've been down here, is you didn't give Drones another outlet. In case it was defended well, which it was defended really well, but it didn't look like there was anybody for him to just sort of lay it off to for a short pickup.
And Tommy, you're right, but Louisville ended up taking that away. They took every single possible where they made sure that Drones kept the football.
Isaac Brown breaks it to the outside. He can fly and runs out of bounds, and a penalty flag comes in. I think we're going to get a hold on Louisville blocking for Brown, which will move them back and take away a big run from Isaac Brown, if indeed that's a call.
He's grabbing his hammy.
Oh, man. And they are signaling for the Louisville medical staff.
First down.
And Brown has still not gotten to his feet. Isaac Brown, for the 10th time in 21 games as a Louisville Cardinal, up over 100 rushing yards, has a 52-yard touchdown run in this game, coming off a 205-yard performance. You know, he started to go out of bounds. You wonder, Will, and we're never going to know till after the game. Did he injure the hamstring as he was going towards the sidelines, or is he slowed down to go to the sidelines and maybe thought, maybe I don't want to run out of bounds here? Then he did something to the hamstring.
In full speed, he started buckling on his way out of bounds, and then immediately he grabbed onto it. So,
man, you just hope he's all right. You don't want to see any player for any team ever, or anything in life, ever get injured. These young men, they go at it around the clock, along with going to school, believe it or not. And yes, these kids still do go to school, contrary to what some might believe. But Isaac Brown, he's had his share of nicks and bumps and bruises throughout the year. He's missed a lot of practice time this year. He's missed parts of games this year. So they've done everything they can during the week to try and keep him healthy for the games, because he's so good once that red light comes on.
Yeah, the tough thing when you're missing many practices is being able to condition your body, for a full game. And sometimes when you're not fully conditioned, it comes to the health and the strength of your soft tissue. And from my experience, when I'm not out there getting the reps, getting the proper things to condition my body, I'm susceptible to a lot of soft tissue injuries. So I just, again, hope that he's okay, because it didn't look good right there.
No, it didn't. And Isaac Brown goes into the medical tent. Kewan Brown, no relation, by the way, comes in to replace him. Brown, the sophomore out of Alliston, Alabama. to throw it. Pitch, catch, good pickup on a 1st and 15. Finding the tight end, Nate Koriski. Via the game-winning touchdown, did Koriski against Pitt. Pitt, another team with only one conference loss.
Yeah, you can see Louisville just holding them up, taking their time, getting the play, burning this clock.
Of course, the college football playoff rankings come out for the first time this Tuesday as Moss throws a dart. Flows to midfield. It is a catch, and it is a first down to Trayshawn Hurry. First time we've called his name today. And for Jeff Brom's team, you're home. And look, they've only played 2 road games. This is their 3rd road game of the year. And 3 of their last 4 are at home. They got Cal, they got Clemson. Clemson lost in a wild one to Duke today. SMU beat Miami today, and Louisville's got to go down there. And then their big rival, Kentucky. But that is not a conference game, but it could be a very important game because of the total number of losses, which is why Miami all of a sudden is in big trouble. And, you know, most people in the country were talking about Miami being a top 2-3 team. They were ranked behind Ohio State for a long time at number 2. And then they lost to this Louisville team as there's a penalty flag down on the play after no gain on the handoff. But then they lose today at SMU. And so, you know, all the recruiting, all
Personal
the money.
Foul. Illegal block below the waist. Offense number 85. 15-yard penalty. First down.
And now the Mario Cristobal's team is going to have a really hard time getting into the college football playoff.
Yeah, and they were bad losses in the conference. You know what I mean? To your point.
Well, heartbreakers. I mean, they've lost, yeah, I mean, just heartbreakers. And today, you know, they had the game won. And on a 4th down, they came up with a stop in regulation. But they were whistled from an unnecessary roughness call, which kept the drive alive for SMU. And the Mustangs kicked a field goal to tie the game in the final seconds of regulation, won it in overtime. All right, so that penalty backs them up 15 yards. And on first down, here's Brown and a big gain for Kewan Brown. It won't be a first down, but what a huge gain. 22 yards on a 1st and 25.
But this is why I was applauding for Louisville's defense, Corey Gordon coming up as a safety, making these tackles. Because you saw right there, the safety just whipped on the running back.
Well, they're going to spot it after a 20-yard gain. They say his knee went down at the 45. So 2nd down and 5. We're down to under 3:20. Louisville trying to put this thing on ice. A couple of more first downs away. Brown, and he has a first down and then some. Well, that's the thing about this Louisville running back room. When they have Duke Watson back, and right now they don't. He was their 2nd best back last year. But Kewan Brown has been taking over at times for Isaac Brown as their number 2 back this season.
Yeah, and this is the type of running back that you want at this period of time. Just physical, dominant.
And Louisville will take all the time. Start on a first down. Virginia Tech 2 timeouts remaining. Kewan Brown, a gain of close to 4 on a first down run and a timeout spent by Virginia Tech. Of course, you have the 2-minute timeout. If you kick a field goal here, you're still within 1 score. You'd be down 8. But we just can't say it enough, and we've tried to, you know, lay it out there the entire game. For Louisville, you can't lose again. I mean, there's no other way to put it. You can say, oh, it's unfair to say. It's the truth. Okay, you got Georgia Tech, which is undefeated in the conference. Virginia, which is weird that they're undefeated in the conference because they lost a game against NC State. But that's the way they laid it out when they added to the conference.
Yeah, and right here, this group, as you mentioned, holding it down. Miami, as you mentioned, I mean, just tough for them.
I mean, you know, you wonder, does the ACC get 2 teams in a college football playoff? Those rankings are going to tell us a lot. It's one thing with a coaches poll. It's another thing with a, voters poll. The playoff committee, they're using some different metrics this year. Your strength is good. That's why I wouldn't be surprised if Indiana's a #1 team when the rankings come out and not Ohio State on Tuesday night.
Yeah, big difference, as Wes mentioned. The second half team, 201 yards.
And off to the races and to the end zone is Kewan Brown. He took over for the injured Isaac Brown. And boy, did he deliver the goods, and the Louisville Cardinals come up with a touchdown. They pitched a shutout on defense here in the second half. And the Cardinals on their way to another victory. Still with 2:15 to go. Boy, how about Kewan Brown? He surpassed his rushing total of a year ago as a redshirt freshman. He didn't figure to get a ton of playing time this year. He had 18 rushing yards before that drive began. And now he has 83 rushing yards.
Look at this offensive line. Just move everyone out the way. I'll tell you what, it's one thing to be a running back and run untouched. This is the second time you see the running back go to the crib untouched with the last name Brown.
Yeah, that's right. 7 plays, 63 yards, 3 minutes and 41 seconds. The Cardinals, Wes Bryant told you earlier, way back when this half started, how good Louisville has been as a second half team this season. And it is a 21-0 second half score in this one for the Big Red.
But what a luxury to have. You have your explosive back, Isaac Brown, who unfortunately was injured. And then you have a fresh running back in Kewan Brown, who just comes through right where you need it. You have a tired Hokie defense, and he has fresh legs and just takes full advantage.
All right, so 28-16, Louisville. And the Cardinals, this team averages 35 points per game. You know, their passing game, they have some big-time players who are capable of, big-time plays. I think if you were scouting this team, what do you think? You tell me, Will. I mean, I'd be a lot more concerned about their run game than I would be about their pass game. It's not to say they can't have big games in the passing game, because Moss has.
Well, that's what's funny, is that this is a pro-style offense that has a balanced attack, but it's just been so happens they've been winning based on explosive plays.
Yeah.
And so when teams are coming in planning to play against this Louisville team, you're thinking like, okay, we got to stop the explosive passes. We got to stop Isaac Brown for the explosive runs. But they want to be able to do this. They want to be able to be physical and run the football so they can get into their play-action game.
Well, we told you earlier they had 5 rushes this year of 50 or more yards. They've had 5 rushes of 60 or more yards. We'll tack on another 52-yarder today by Isaac Brown for their first touchdown. And you look at their rushing yards in this game, 221. Average 7.4 yards per carry. Man.
Now you're going to see Louisville just sit here and play a too-high shell. Now they're going to drop down to Robert.
That'll take us down to the 2-minute timeout. Stay tuned for the final 2 minutes of the game, presented by the Wells Fargo Active Cash Credit Card. Louisville. We head to the final 2 minutes of today's game. Our snapback replay presented by the Active Cash Credit Card from Wells Fargo, the run game. And it was Kewan Brown replacing the injured Isaac Brown. And that's brought to you by Wells Fargo Active Cash Credit Card. Be a 2%er. Earn unlimited 2% cash rewards on purchases. Terms apply. You know, one thing we've not gotten into today is the whole situation of the rumor mill with what's going to happen here at Virginia Tech. You know, we brought up earlier, there is no doubt you can win here. It was proven for a couple of decades plus by Frank Beamer.
Yeah,
you can be a legitimate
ACC championships.
That's exactly right. You can be a legitimate top 10 team. You can be a legitimate contender for a college football playoff. We did not bring it up the other day with Philip Montgomery. He brought it up, talking about, you know, looking forward and that he does not have a job next year as that ball is incomplete. And, you know, look, there's a lot of rumors about James Franklin here. Nothing has been confirmed, and it's not going to be confirmed because the committee looking for a new coach here at Virginia Tech is not going to talk. End of story. You're only going to know until somebody's hired.
Right.
Now, whether or not that's James Franklin, you know, there are so many other guys that have been fired this season. More recently, Napier at Florida, you know, at LSU, Brian Kelly. We know about Franklin at Penn State. But, you know, it's interesting. Everybody thinks that, you know, the next job is always better. I found some of the comments made by Nick Saban today and how college football has changed so much in what's important. You know, saying everybody has great facilities now. That was the arms race for a long time.
Right.
Now it's all about budgets and NIL and what are you doing there? And Lane Kiffin's name comes up all the time. You know, Franklin's name now going to come up. But Virginia Tech, you can win. This is a good job, man.
Yeah, we mentioned in terms of like the resources, the region. Obviously, Franklin's name came up because of the job he's done everywhere else, and him knowing this region as well. And also now they have the resources, which was the big thing that was mentioned earlier this year financially.
Yeah, they went from what a budget of $122 million, 14th in the ACC. And now they're bumping that up to $229 million. Now, again, the other thing everybody doesn't talk about is they still have to raise about half of that money. So it's not like a slam dunk. But, you know, Bruce Arians is part of that committee. There are former players. There are a lot of movers and shakers, prominent alum that are part of that committee that will address hiring a coach. We asked Philip Montgomery, you want to be a head coach? Are you going to be considered for this job? He said, I've been told that I will get a chance to interview and be considered for this job on a full-time basis moving forward. And he said he wants to be a head coach again.
He was adamant about that, not just like, oh, I'd like to be. He goes, no, there's no question he wants to be a head coach again.
Kewan Brown, second down. Well, Louisville found their guy. I mean, you know, he coached at Brom at Western Kentucky. And, you know, he did a great job there. He wasn't there very long. But then he went 30-10 over 3 years, went to Purdue, and Purdue is not an easy place to win. They've had some good teams through the years, but he was plus 500, had some huge wins, knocked off a #2 Ohio State team one year. I mean, he's had some big wins, and now he comes back to his hometown where he went to Trinity High School. He played quarterback at Louisville under the great Howard Schnellenberger, and his team is about to go to 7-1. He has lost 9 games in almost 3 full years as head coach at Louisville.
Yeah, and the biggest thing I learned talking to this staff is that they all hold each other accountable. When it comes to, hey, you didn't do this right, I don't like this play call, but none of them take it personal. And when you have a staff like that does it together, they're not afraid to speak their mind, and no one takes it personally. These are the results you get.
Well, he's got 2 of his brothers on his staff. He made an excellent hire by going out to bring in Ron English, who's been around, it seems like, forever, and he's not even that old at 57 as their defensive coordinator. So the Cardinals come to Virginia Tech. Everybody worried about a trap game for Louisville. That did not happen. And a 21-0 shutout in the second half. They were down 16-7 at halftime. But they go 21-0 in the second half in a 28-16 win. Miller Moore standing by with Wes Bryant. Wes,
I got Louisville quarterback Miller Moss here with me. You guys were able to completely flip things in the second half. How did you make the adjustment?
Yeah, I mean, I think we just told one another that we've been here before. You know, super awesome environment. Got to give them a ton of credit. I wish we could play here every week. This was awesome. I think, you know, Coach Brom does an awesome job with second half adjustments, and we're really able to see that kind of come to fruition.
So as the wins stack up, is this team going to start thinking ahead to bigger things maybe?
No. I mean, the parity has come to college football, so we're going to enjoy this one on the plane ride, and then we're all about Cal next week.
All right, Miller, congratulations. Enjoy the win.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Nice young man. Thank you for his time. Wes, thank you very much. Again, our final score, 28-16. Louisville Cardinals go to 7-1 on the year. Still thinking about getting to Charlotte and a college football playoff berth. For Wes and Will, Tom Brenneman, thanks for watching. We'll send it back to the CW Football Saturday studio with Mike Ham, Michael Bumpus, and George Wrightster. We'll look forward to seeing you next weekend from Chapel Hill, North Carolina. Have a great rest of your weekend.